Hey, you know what the beautiful part about this sport is? That there's no limits. You can box, you can kickbox, you can do jiu-jitsu, you can do wrestling. And that's why I love the sport, because even with that, I honestly feel like I have no limits. So there's always something to learn, there's always something that I can improve on. For the last month, I talked about how we find our range, with closer distance, and then even when we're out of range, like what to do there. And then we also talked about like the angles, and we talked about how to block, and if we're blocking, we need to make sure that we're blocking correctly, because it's not just about blocking, but making sure that you're maintaining your balance, and that's with everything. And those are just the basic concepts that for example, I use in my life, and I try to keep those in my training and work on them all the time. But we're not limited to those things, But this is where in this video
I'm gonna show you guys
is making sure that we know how to apply those things and have the reaction for it. Training these basic concepts have allowed me to be more self-aware, in the sense that I'm paying more attention to my body than anything. So you guys have seen that I've had a few setbacks when it comes to my training. Like my ear, I had a cauliflower ear, so I had to take a few days off, and like little issues here with my health and all, and it's like it has put me in the position where I have to be more patient with myself, and I have to take care of my body and recover. And even though I love training so much, sometimes I forget that I am human and that I need to recover properly in order for me to perform. And so many times when I'm training, I overdo it, or I stress myself out too much because I'm overworking my body. When I come across this type of situations, I look at it in a sense that it's okay to take a break sometimes. I don't always have to train my body, but I can always train my mind. And with this concept that I'm talking about, where it comes to finding the angles, the range, all these things, like we can train our minds and our bodies to do these things. But it's very important for us to train whatever's in here, because if we don't know what's going on in our brains, and we don't know what's going on in front of us, especially when we're fighting, then clearly we're not there in the fight. Like we have to be really focused. And so if we know these things and practice these things and put it in our brains that we're gonna do these things and visualize this, then we are gonna perform. But I'm not saying that these things are so easy to do, and I'm also not saying that these things happen overnight. But then again, it's just a matter of being more self-aware. If you're self-aware in your everyday lives, in training or in life, and you learn to see what is it that you're doing, and whatever is working, whatever is not working, then you can always do something about it. It allows me to see what I'm doing and noticing my action, noticing what I think, what I feel. And even with setbacks or not, like I can endure them, because I endure these hard training sessions at the gym, and at the same time I can endure them in life too. I want to show you guys how is it that we can put all of these basic concepts and put them all together. You can try them, and I'm not going to say that, oh, you're going to be successful at it every time, but it always helps to have a solid foundation. And that's the biggest thing that my coach always shows me and teaches me. It's like, always go back to the basics. Like I don't have to be fancy with the things that I do, like I don't have to try to flip somebody or something. Like I don't have to judo throw somebody in order for me to execute a nice takedown, you know what I mean? I can always just go back to the basics. that I'm learning and that I'm showing you guys. I'm not saying that I'm perfect at it, because I'm not. And I'm also not saying that, oh, just because I do these things, you should do it too. No, all I'm saying is that I'm showing you guys like some of the ways that I use my MMA training and I relate them to my life that have helped me develop myself and have helped me grow as a person.
And thank goodness it's helping, because look at you guys. I'm showing you right now. So thank you for listening.
striking right away before that person has time to turn. That's when you're throwing that first cross. Right. And then you turn over, up, cross. Right. So it's going to be the same concept here. When you're going to slip, you're going to step and quarter turn. And now as soon as I turn, you should already be taking that step. I should already? Yeah. So once I'm here, by the time I'm here, boom. Because now you got this angle. Okay. And the same way after the last hook slip, I'm here. Come on out. Boom. You're throwing that cross right away. The same way you would slip and step quarter turn this way. As soon as I turn, you're throwing that. You're going for that takedown right away. Okay. So as soon as I turn, your foot should already be there. And that's exactly immediately as soon as that ankle's there. If you get that ankle and I just pivot all the way around here, now you've lost it anyway. So you want to catch me as I'm in the process of turning. So even if I'm doing it right and bringing this foot around, I'm not going to be here right away. You're going to catch me here. And now I got no stance to keep me standing. So you're going to go hook, hook, boom, under, off the side, attack, boom. Yeah, just a little bit faster. Now, go, yes.
I almost forgot. I'm gonna talk to you. Boo. Next week, I'm gonna talk about my black belt training. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Okay, he didn't get it swollen this time. He didn't get it swollen.